Hello and welcome to the Daily Crew, episode number 2, where we talk about random things and discussions and just see where it goes from there. I am Tyler, we got Ben and Amanda joining me today, and let's look at the random topics to discuss today. Ben, what do we have?
All right, the first one is, what is not illegal but is completely evil?
Evil but not illegal,
Yeah.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, like price gouging of like pharmaceuticals, stuff like that. Like it's not illegal.
They
But
claim price gouging is illegal, but it seems so haphazardly enforced.
Yeah, no, that guy is in so much trouble. What was his
The
name?
Pharma Bro?
Yeah.
Farmer Bro, yeah.
He's in a lot of trouble for doing that.
Is he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I feel like they do it, and
I
there's
think
nothing that can be done about
It's
it.
like price gouging's legal unless it's legal if you know the right people.
Yeah.
Like we can charge $200 for a pill, but that's if it's okay with us.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. That one's a little iffy with me because I'm trying to think of something else that is legal but is completely evil. Another one that feels just evil is like when you promise a kid you're going to do something and you don't do it.
Oh,
I hate that.
That's like when you disappoint them, like especially like if you're like very chronic at it, like if you keep telling your kid you're going to take them to the movies and it's like 2
That's
months,
true.
you still haven't
Yeah.
taken them to the movies and stuff like that. Especially if they've done everything, they've done all the right things, like been on good behavior, and they're still haven't been to the movies. Like I feel like that's evil.
And
I think it is, yeah.
yeah, the issue with that too is like you get so used to it that you have no expectations from anyone
Mhm.
Yeah.
because you don't get excited about things anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I like to say mean what you say and say what you mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially with kids, like because like if you don't know if you can come through with anything, then don't tell them.
Yeah. I never say I promise.
You know, it's
Because
almost
you don't know.
better off to just surprise them, come out of nowhere. And,
I rarely give concrete answers to my kids for that reason. Because
Yeah.
like I don't want you holding me to exactly what I said. Like I
Yeah.
said, we will try, or probably, or we'll
Mhm.
see. My parents always said that, like we'll see, which almost always meant yes for my parents. But probably the same reason I don't want to be held to something. You said yes.
Yes.
I'm like, oh God, I said yes.
no concrete answers.
I say we'll see because my kid will ask me over and over, and I'm like, the answer is no, but I don't have the energy right now.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of it is like what mood you're in. You know what I mean? Like sometimes like if they keep asking, you're like, well, not in a good mood right now, so the answer's no right now.
Did you ever see the episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? The clip makes the rounds. I watched this the other day, where like Will's dad shows up and then gets chewed out by Uncle Phil because like we're gonna go on a road trip, son, and then he backs out like he always does. And it's a really emotional scene for like a mostly funny show. It's like
Oh,
a
wow.
deep scene. You guys haven't seen that scene?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, you haven't seen that one?
Yeah, and I've heard, I don't know if it's true, that Will Smith did such a good job in that scene because his dad was also not present in
Yeah.
real life, so it was really easier for him to be emotional.
You know, I'm interested in Will Smith in the sense that I read this one interview article thing a while ago and it was talking about him and like, so he got Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like rapper, and then kind of like TV star, and then it's like, let's go into movies, right? Which what most actors want to do is where the big bucks are at.
Yeah.
So they do that, and him and his agent analyzed what the common trends are of big movies to try to make sure, like, let's be in only big movies and let's do this. So like, they tend to come out in the summer. They often involve aliens. They're like blockbuster, like action comedy type movies. And you look at his early movies, the ones that are like Men in Black, Independence Day, which are still good to this day.
Yeah.
And like, but it wasn't like, well, let's just do a movie because I think it's going to be good. It's like, let's analyze what are all the check boxes of what's most likely to be a blockbuster and make me a huge worldwide movie star. And it worked.
He's involved in so many franchises that started off very early in his career. Bad Boys, Men in Black, even Independence Day. You know, they have two of those, even though he's not in the second one. But there's like so many. You know, like
He's smart.
Yeah, he's very very smart, and then made some good choices. He was almost in the Matrix. He was almost in the Matrix, but he didn't understand it, so that's why he.
That's one of those things. I think it's right. Like it was not long ago. I think probably when they talked of the new one coming out, it was like one of those famous, like who might have been in a role. Like it was offered to him, and you can imagine and he said like these people come in and they try to explain this as like, well, it's not the real world, and like there's all these cameras, and you lean back like, I don't even know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Once in a while we catch up because like Field of Dreams is on all the time on TV, almost always on with MLB station, I think. And I always talk to my wife Karen and go, can you imagine trying to explain this movie to people that made this movie?
Right.
Like, so there's like a cornfield and people walk out, but they're old players, and like go around and you build a stadium. Like what?
Yes.
Like how do you explain that? It's just even watching it's a weird plot.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think of anything else that's not illegal but is completely evil. One thing that does annoy me is the fake. You ever play mobile games?
Once in a while.
You'll get ads that pop up, and then there's an X to get rid of the ads so you can keep playing the game. Sometimes they fake you out
The
with
fake
that.
X. So you click on something.
Yeah, so you're
not
clicking on the
actually-
X, you think it's legit, and you're just clicking on it, and nothing happens because
Yeah.
it's fake. And
Yeah,
that
and it
feels,
like won't go away.
that is evil.
It does seem like mobile games are often kind of a moving goalpost because you'll get some game you think, oh, fine, I'll pay like $5, make the ads go away, and then sure enough, like the next thing is like there's more ads, or it's always pushing the next app or the next game all the time, and it's like you're never done. It's never like now I've done enough. What is in-game? What's the phrase they use?
It's like what do you mean? Like
Something game content.
Yeah. Downloadable content.
DLC, right?
Yeah,
Downloadable
DLC,
content. Like there's just always more. It's never now I have everything to play this game much as I want. It's just always what's the next thing?
There's always more.
Mhm.
It's
It
especially
makes
with
more money that way.
especially with anything now, even on consoles now, like Fortnite and stuff.
Mhm.
That's never ending. And stuff. But I tell you what, though, those mobile games are dangerous because those can take up an entire day before you know it. Because they're so addicting. They're very addicting. Like it's kind of like going to the casino and you sit down on slot machines and you get addicted to like the sounds and the cha-ching or whatever. Like like you learn like somehow for some reason you get addicted to that. Mobile games are no different. Like me and my wife this past Sunday, we spent like almost all day Sunday playing the exact same mobile game, and hours went by fast. We're like, we didn't do anything.
Is it that Wordle game or no?
It was like
I've heard about this game making the round like some word game.
No, this game we played was like Tetris. It was called Block Puzzle, and it's just such a simple game, but it's so addicting. I don't know, but mobile games. And Holly ended up deleting all of those. She was like, I'm never downloading those again. Because they literally took up the whole day. Like, that's why they're dangerous. Like, I do not recommend. If you're a busy person, do not get started on mobile games. And, I don't know, you have anything?
I don't know. I don't think so. Nothing comes to mind right now.
Yeah, that is kind of a hard one. I feel like there's so many things. Oh, one big one that I read that I got the most upvotes was when people get fired the day before their pensions.
Oh yeah.
Before they get their pensions, like typically that's not uncommon, where people will work for 30 years at a company, and then like right before their pension, they get they get fired like literally like a week before.
Or along the same lines, probably people that will keep employees under a full-time 39 hours so they can offer different stuff versus a full-time employee.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, and then I feel like that's also kind of like how new customers always get the sweet deals while existing customers don't get anything.
Well, we've had that discussion.
Yeah, we've had that discussion.
AT&T,
yeah, it's like, and they all do that though. I feel like even like car insurances do that.
Yeah, you call them and threaten them,
Yeah.
and then they'll give you a better deal.
I don't know. I just feel like everybody should. Actually, there is one company that's advertising that they're doing that now. That every customer gets the same exact deal as new customers. But we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
See how it goes.
It's the right thing to do, man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what people do, but
Yeah.
it's the right thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, because I know, like, you want to get people to sign on and get in the door, but you also want to keep your current customers so you don't have to try as hard to get new ones. So it's, you know what I'm saying?
Generally, it depends on the amount of competition,
Yeah.
how much of a hassle it is to switch.
Mm-hmm.
But it is far easier, especially when it comes to like a recurring thing like monthly bills
Yeah.
on the same thing. It's far easier to keep somebody than to get a new person.
Yeah.
That's just like with jobs.
Customer acquisition.
Yeah.
It's cheaper to keep your employees than to hire new employees.
To deal with training and the hassle.
Yeah, if you have a high turnover rate,
Yeah.
are you even
'Cause-
making a lot of
But
money?
I think you get a new, you train a new employee for 6 months and they don't work out.
Yeah.
That's 6 months of wasted, you know, time, man hours. I mean, benefits and all that stuff. Yeah, that can be a huge
And then
waste of
the
money.
person training them finds out they were making the same amount they are, and they leave the company. You know, like
yeah, that's a good point.
companies get too big to where they just don't care.
Well, and it just grows more complex the bigger you get. Like encountering that here with stuff that used to be easy to figure out, and you have to put more like rules and stuff into place, and then everyone's just signing off on stuff because they got to stay in their lane and do what they're told or what they've been authorized to do and all this stuff.
Yeah.
You ever remember the episode of The Office where Michael wants to get the raise from Jan? Remember that? He has to go in there and secret genius, maybe another plot theory, but he also seems like a dumb guy, right? And he goes in there and Michael and Jan are dating, so they have like third person there, like to make sure it's fair and right, whatever. And she's like, Michael, ask for 15%. So I can give you a 12% raise, but I can't give you 12 unless you ask for 15. And then inside is like, well, I want a 12% raise. Like, no, you had to ask for 15, and you just couldn't figure that out. But it's probably like the same thing, like you're authorized to give this, but someone has to ask something else first. Like, you can only give a 12 if they ask for a 15. You couldn't figure out to ask for a 15. But how was he always a survivor, right? You think he was a secret genius? No? He always had the best performing branch.
Yeah.
Even though they never did any work.
I kind of think he was written that way. He was written to be so ridiculous to when he did have like his genius moments, it would stick out more, and you'd be like impressed. I think that would make him kind of entertaining.
Like the Michael Scott Paper Company, when they sell that back to Dunder Mifflin.
Yeah.
Like, and he plays David Wallace to perfection.
Yeah.
And like that scene, you think maybe he's not as dumb as he plays himself out to be.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's because he also had his employees on the line, and so he stepped up.
He stepped up. Yeah.
You're right. He does care too much.
I just think it's just genius writing, honestly, on creating a character, and maybe a lot to do with Steve Carell with doing that, because that's like suddenly there's something more to him than you realize it, which kind of stands out, makes you like him, makes him more likable.
Yeah.
Because like there's so many episodes where he does so many embarrassing things
annoying,
that he's hard to like sometimes, but then he'll surprise you and he kind of redeems himself.
Yeah.
Like Scott's Tots.
Yeah.
Oh man.
That one is rough every time.
I skipped that one.
Yeah, some people do.
Yeah, that is the most. That is like they said by Office fans. That is the most skipped episode.
You ever see? Yeah, I talk about this one all the time, but Dinner Party, right? I always thought that was good because one, Michael tricked Jim into having to say yes. Remember that? Like they're gonna work late for corporate on Friday night. Oh man, we gotta work late. And then Michael's like, "Do you have any plans today?" No, nothing on the books. Like nothing, just gotta stay here and work. And then he fake calls corporate, like, "We're not gonna stay." And like, "Do you want to go to dinner?" He's like, instead of having plans.
Yeah.
But they said they cut in that episode that Jan actually killed the neighbor's dog in that episode.
I
But they
heard
cut
that.
it because it was too dark for
Yeah.
the show. Because Jan was nuts.
You know what? I think that was a good call. I think that was a good call.
Yeah.
Really?
That probably would have been the backlash for it. Probably would not have been worth.
Yeah.
You know.
The other line, remember when Michael was kind of contemplating suicide up top of the building? Like, Dwight, you ignorant slut.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite lines.
You almost forget that I know we're not supposed to be talking about The Office here, but you almost forget that it's all about a worker that committed suicide, right?
Yeah, some guy committed suicide, and that was a spark for why they got the documentary crew there.
Yeah, you forget that about like season 2.
Mhm.
Like you forget that that's even a thing. Like, but at least I did.
You never really think like, why is there a camera crew following them around?
Yeah.
It seems kind of random.
Yeah.
Another episode that is really easy to skip. Even Caleb was like, I don't want to watch this episode, or Josh, both of them, where he makes that really large man climb up on the table.
Yeah.
Like, it breaks your heart.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
that was messed up. That was messed up.
When they merged branches from Stanford, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember that one, but
That one was a little hard to watch. And then people forget, Toby outed Oscar. I mean, Michael was like the one that was, he gets the rap for not knowing stuff, but Toby's like, Oscar's gay, right? And so he kind of outed him too.
Yeah.
And for all the stuff like, you can't out somebody, but Toby outed Oscar to Michael, the
Yeah.
worst possible person to out someone to.
Right. or whenever they show their ultrasound, and he's like, "That's the inside of your vagina." Like, oh my gosh, that show's so funny. I can't.
Yeah, it's funny. And
All
you
right.
All right.
All right. Let's move on. All right.
We can have a
Okay.
whole episode.
Let's move on to the next one. Okay. This next question is okay. This one starts out as men of Reddit. What's something to get for a guy that's equivalent to flowers for women? What do we think about this? And do women even really like getting flowers? Like, what's something?
Some do.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
I think a lot. I would say a strong majority. Would you agree with that as a female in the group?
I don't know. To me, it's such a waste. Because you killed them, right? And then they're just gonna literally die. Which is fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's fine. I bought flowers for boyfriends.
Yeah.
Did they seem to appreciate them?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
They were like shocked and touched. And I'm like, has nobody ever gotten you flowers before?
So you always hear that it's the thought that counts. So they almost make you to believe that you can just get anything and it's gonna be okay, which is probably true. It's
Depends on the person.
Like for me, like I don't expect anything, but if you just pick me up a Nestle Crunch bar, that's gonna make me happy.
And that's right. I think it is a thought that counts because it's kind of like you took time out of your day to put an extra effort to think of something I would enjoy and do that thing. Which I think that is where the thought that counts. And like Karen does enjoy flowers, but not like the most things she enjoys. And she does things for me like I always like paydays, like Reese's peanut butter cups, things like that. I'm like, yeah, I was at the store, I got you some.
Yeah.
She knows I like them.
Yeah, anything that where you kind of went out of your way to do just for them, I think is enough. Like for me, like Holly doesn't ever get chocolate or buy any of that stuff like that, but except when it's for me. So
they thought of you.
Yeah, so they thought of, you know what I'm saying? Like, and then, like, I don't know what's equivalent to flowers because I don't even know, like, I've never received flowers before. I don't, like
I don't know if I have or not.
maybe chocolate covered strawberries. Those are always nice. But,
I feel like that's too romantic.
yeah.
That's true because like you can get flowers in a non-romantic way. Like, you always get like little girls like Emma, she'll get flowers at the dance recital.
The only day that really comes to mind is Valentine's Day. And that's when everyone's getting like chocolates and flowers and stuff like that. That's typically the only time that where I, you know what I'm saying, like birthdays and stuff like that, we just go out to eat or we go do something. And we don't really get each other anything, not like that. But I don't know, like, I don't want to speak for all men, but usually just the small things.
Yeah.
Usually just a small chocolate bar.
Something, I'm trying to think of something very stereotypical. Because, like, when you think of flowers, you think of girls. So then I'm like, car stuff or something, you know?
Like the other day,
Hot wings.
The
Hot wings and beer. Yeah.
The other day, she got me a coffee mug out of nowhere because she said the coffee mug made her think of me. So that was really nice. So I think stuff like that, like, you know, there's small things that show that, you know, they're thinking about you.
This is for a man to give another man, though.
Is this man to man?
No,
That's what you just said.
No, it's men. It is men of Reddit. What's something to get for, so I'm assuming a woman is asking this, or it could be a man asking this. It could be. It's men of Reddit. What's something to get for a guy that's equivalent to flowers?
Okay, I thought it was like bro to bro.
Bro to bro?
Yeah. So, I mean, it could be, it doesn't matter, whatever, but what is like the equivalent of flowers to women, you know?
A women to men?
Yeah.
Candy. Dudes love candy.
Yeah, let's say sweets, candy, coffee, and stuff like that.
Almost any kind of food.
Yeah.
For me. Because I will notice, like if I mention even in passing, not even on purpose, oh man, I really like I missed that cereal from having a kid, like suddenly the next time it's always on the shelf. Like, oh, you mentioned it the other day. Like, well, yeah, I did mention it, but I didn't expect you to get it.
Right,
Yeah.
I just think, you know, I'm not speaking for all men here, but for me, like I said, just like a Nestle Crunch bar. Or just a chocolate bar.
You have a reputation for enjoying candy.
Yes.
Yeah. Him and Caleb in the office,
And anything else?
That's all I got for that.
Okay, all right.
No, so chocolate covered strawberries would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking bro to bro, just friendship, and you were like chocolate covered strawberries. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
romantic.
Well, see, I've never been given chocolate covered strawberries. I've always eaten them after I gave them to her.
Right.
So, but if I was to get them, I wouldn't complain.
Do guys get each other things that much? I don't have a whole lot of guy friends or a lot of friends in general, but I don't recall like really ever getting like random things like I'm thinking of you today.
Not really, nothing like that. Not that I know of, but every friendship is different.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I remember I used to know this group of guys who they used to have what they call these customized like token things that were like different. They were like one was like a Cardinals Blues ones or whatever.
Dogs.
Yeah, and then whenever they would get together, if you had that, then you would get a beer.
Or like whoever didn't have it had to do something.
Whoever didn't have it had to buy everybody around like a bucket of beer or something,
Mm-hmm.
But I've heard of stuff like that.
I've heard of that, yeah. Like a bro code, a bro group.
Yeah. So, but I don't know anything else other than that. To be honest.
Yeah, I don't have a lot for that one.
Me either.
Men have read it.
Yeah.
I just know if you're invited to to watch football at someone's house, don't come empty-handed.
For sure.
Come with like a 6-pack of beer or something,
Or like a bag of, what do you want me to bring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just the rule. Anytime you get really invited to anything.
Yeah,
like
anybody's
that.
house, yeah.
Yeah.
But, okay. All right, we ready for the next
We're
one?
ready for that.
Yup.
The next one, okay, so this next one is, what is the most overrated band of all time?
All time.
Now, a lot of people will answer this and then not say the bands they do like. You know what I'm saying? Like they only talk about the ones they don't like. But like me, I like Blink-182,
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite bands of all time. I like Blink-182. When we're talking rap, I like 36 Mafia. And you know what I'm saying? So I want to say the bands I do like, because I feel like you always hear people that want to trash what other people like, but they don't ever bring up what they do like because they're afraid people are going to trash what they like, so I just want to throw that out there with what I like.
The band that sings Bad Bad Girlfriend. You know what song I'm talking about?
Ooh.
No.
Bad Bad Girlfriend. It's like a newer, maybe not that new, 10 something, 15 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They sing Bad Girl. Oh, and that one song where it's like, honey, why you calling me tonight? It's like his ex, but he's in bed with some other girl.
Oh,
and he misses her and they're talking on the phone. What is that band?
I don't know.
It's terrible. They have terrible songs.
Yeah. I think maybe, I know I said before that the Beatles are overrated, but I don't think by any means the most overrated ever.
No.
Because they did have a lot of talent. I think I'm trying to think of people, probably they would skew towards like one-hit wonder. They have one obnoxious song that breaks really big, and like everything else after that never makes it at all.
Yeah. I don't know.
Like Chumbawamba.
I had that CD.
Well, that one song is good though.
Yeah.
I might get a bunch of hate comments for this, but I'm just going to say Kings of Leon. They had that one song, that one huge song that was great and stuff like that, but now I'll hear that they'll charge, they're one of the priciest ticket to go see.
Really?
Concert-wise. For a band, outside, unless you're a diehard fan of them, they don't really have a whole lot of hit songs other than that one massive one.
There's another popular one they have.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure I saw them.
Yeah.
Not just them, but it was at a Point Fest or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're unique sounding.
Was that the one where they got attacked by pigeons or they got pooped on by pigeons and then...
That was in St. Louis, I think, wasn't it? That, it's Riverport, whatever it's called now.
Yeah.
And wasn't there a bunch of pigeons that, was it them or was it the Fray? It was one of...
No, it was Kings of Leon.
Was it?
It was Kings of Leon, and I think after that, they swore that they would never come back to St. Louis after that.
They claimed they got attacked by pigeon poo, and I got poop in my mouth, and they ran off stage.
That's so ridiculous.
I did not see that. Maybe I didn't. Listen, I've been to a lot of concerts where I drank too much. I don't remember if I saw them or not.
Yeah. I do some songs like Nickelback. Now, a lot of people, I'm not in the minority with that. A lot of people do not like Nickelback.
I don't like Nickelback.
That's probably one of the most popular things to not like. Probably because, honestly, a lot of their songs sound recycled. Their beats and everything, it's like the same song, but just different words.
The weird thing about that is, Have you ever met someone that said they like Nickelback?
They might be afraid to say it.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they're like closet Nickelback lovers.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not bashing anybody that likes Nickelback. If you like them, you like them, whatever. But me, personally, I just can't get behind them. Because I feel like every one of their songs, they're one of those songs that, or they're one of those bands that just haunted you for years on the radio. Because you couldn't escape Nickelback. You could not escape it. Like, it was always on the radio. It was always when you were getting a haircut. Always when you're trying to bowl, when you're trying to go to the bars, Nickelback this, Nickelback that, and it's just...
They've made some great memes though out of it, where it's like, look at this grass, and it's like just some kind of weird grass. But you know who else has every song that sounds the same, and I still enjoy them, is Disturbed.
Oh, yes.
You guys know Disturbed?
That is a good one, yeah. They do sound the same.
And The Point has this thing, 1057 The Point has, where they like, it's some guy, and he just, and he sings like all the songs together, and it's so funny.
Yeah, I swear, when we were driving in the car and listening on the radio, like, here's a brand new song by Disturbed, and you're getting off, you're like, and you're like, this is a lot like the last song.
Yeah.
Sounds exactly the same.
For sure.
They definitely have a formula that they like to stick to.
You ever seen that stuff? I've seen ones online, and I always find interesting when they say like this. They do a song, but in a style of someone else.
Oh,
yeah.
Like I think it was one I saw was some guy that was doing Blink-182 songs, but in a style of Journey.
Oh.
So
okay.
and it was just really neat because like when you look at the style of something and then the actual song, like you can put it in the style and you kind of pick up on what it's kind of like. I just feel like 90s and 2000s or like now.
Yeah. It is
really
fun
neat.
to do that. You know who I think is pretty overrated is Nirvana.
Nirvana?
Yeah.
People, like, I read a long article on Kurt Cobain not long ago, like, and talking about Courtney Love and the whole thing, and he was so, like, counter fame and all this stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just all here for the music. But there's a lot of internal stuff from, like, his talks with Courtney Love and all this stuff. Like, it was his plan the entire time to become super, super famous. So it's the whole time I'm like, oh no, don't be famous, but okay, come take a picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think like some of Nirvana's music got even more popular after his death?
Yeah.
Like his death really kind of...
That's popular in most artists.
Yeah.
They still play it all the time on like K-She and The Point, and I'm like, stop.
Because he's regarded, they are regarded as like one of the founding fathers of grunge rock and roll.
Yeah.
They're like one of the founding fathers. So they're like music legends in that aspect. So that's why
I get that.
You hear that. But you know what? Creed.
I was trying to think of that. I was like, what's
Creed.
that religious
And
rock
you know what?
band?
Creed to me wouldn't even be as bad if they just weren't so dramatic.
Yeah.
And I think that's what it is, like with arms,
everything sounds like there's an R in every single word.
Yeah.
And you take me higher. Yeah. I know what you mean.
But it's easy to sing along to though.
Yes.
Going back to Nirvana, I think I wouldn't say overrated, but I would say like if you look at moments in time, the last like 100 years of music, and like some artist or some group kind of really was really important in the evolving of what's popular and normal in music, I would say they were very, very important to the evolution of music. Yeah. And I think had they not been there, I think music would be a lot different today.
I agree with that.
I agree with that.
Maybe I can say differently. They're the fans. I think people say they like Nirvana way more than they actually do.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I mean, because some people are just like, it's like Tool. And Tool, they have amazing music, they're very smart, but people like worship Tool. Maynard. Yes, like he's some sort of creative genius. And like his followers are like obsessive. And I kind of feel that way about people who say they like Nirvana. Like, do you? Or do you want to say you like them?
That, I think, is always an interesting thing. People that seem to like something, like, could you name 2 of their songs?
Sure,
Because that's always, like, you see that, like, someone wearing, like, a shirt, like, oh, I love this band. Like, you name 2,
of
3
them.
songs.
Well, but
They're
to
like,
be
oh,
Yeah.
I cannot name a lot of songs that anybody sings.
Yeah.
Like, and I
Yeah.
can know them all, but like
Yeah.
I don't know the name of it. Sometimes I don't even know who sings it.
Yeah.
But I like
Yeah.
I really like it.
I just feel like they're just a safe band to say. You know
Nirvana.
what I'm saying? Nirvana, you're safe.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
say that you like Nirvana, you're in the majority. You're with a lot of people that will say the same thing. So it's like a safe thing. But do you really like them? Are you really a diehard?
Yeah.
You know.
How did you feel about Sublime?
I don't have any problem with Sublime. Let's see, what was their one big hit?
What I Got.
Right? Yeah. Takes me like back to 7th grade. I remember when they were like, you like Sublime? I'm like, I know that one song.
Right,
Back when
right.
you bought a CD because you wanted to hear one exact song.
Oh gosh, remember those days of paying $20
Mhm.
for one song? Never
But
again.
remember they made singles and stuff too
Yeah.
that you could buy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was.
It was Sublime.
I'm not really. I don't think I can tell you one song by Sublime. I know I've heard them.
Yeah.
What I
I've
Got.
heard them.
That's
Yes,
the only one.
I know
that
that
one.
one.
If you
Yes.
were ever at our house on 11th Street, you've heard a lot of Sublime.
Well, I think the other thing too, which comes in naming songs. To be fair, I know like that you give someone crap for that, but there's a lot of things you know a song, right? And then you go, oh, and someone says, you know that's by so and so. Well, that's by them. Like songs you know,
Yeah.
but you don't know who they're from.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs that like at the bar in the club and everything. Like every Friday and Saturday night, you don't know who does it, but you know the
Yeah.
song. Like everyone knows a song.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Cause
Like you can go your own way. Everyone knows that song.
Yeah.
Or like, what's the band that does that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Either one know the band that does that?
Is it
One Hit Wonder,
a one hit
Kansas.
Oh,
The band Kansas.
Yeah.
I would never have gotten that in a million years.
Yeah.
I saw Kansas.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, because you
On a map or
No, we were
Yeah, because like I would say most people are not diehard fans; they're just casual fans. You
Yeah.
know, they don't really go out of their way to seek who does what, who sings what,
Mhm.
unless they develop a almost an obsession with a band.
Yeah.
Kind of like I have. Like I love Blink-182, I love 36. I could probably tell you so many songs by them.
Didn't you do something with 36 Mafia online with some sort of song thing? What was that? It was something, someone, one of them on like social, you reached out, they're like,
Yeah, he called me. Yeah, Juicy J.
Juicy J!
Juicy J of 36 Mafia. He called me. It was one of those things where he had a YouTube channel, and I was watching his thing, and I had literally just bought his new album, and it just came out. It was like, yeah, anybody who just comments with a picture of the album they just bought, I'll call you. I was like, okay. So I just did it or whatever, and then he ended up calling me like 2 or 3 times, and I didn't pick up like the first 2 times because I was out with friends and stuff like that. And then he made a video kind of mocking me a little bit for not picking up, for not answering, because he's like, Benny B 278, why didn't you pick up? Why didn't you pick up? You know, I'm calling you. And then he actually did a live video of him calling me.
yeah.
You know, and I wasn't answering. And then finally I called back, and then he did a whole YouTube video of our conversation. I can't even remember what we talked about. It was just really cool. It was just really laid back.
So cool to talk
He
to
was
Juicy
really,
J.
he was really chill. I mean, he was just like, you know, it was like, hey, you got any questions? I just asked him, you know, I don't even know what I asked him. It was just so like surreal
Yeah.
talking to him, and it was almost kind of, and I ended up saving the conversation. It was on the computer. I ended up saving the conversation, but yeah, it was just really cool. You know, he's one I grew up listening to, him and 36 and stuff like that. Like, diehard fan.
You had said some story too about something like with Spotify, now something was classified or the music and something a long time ago. Was it tied to that? It was something else
Oh, there was one where DJ Paul, I messaged with DJ Paul at 36, and then it was so weird because one of his songs posted on Spotify.
That's the, yeah.
But it posted under another DJ Paul, under a DJ, like an actual DJ Paul, and I just sent him a thing. I was like, yeah, so your song is with this dude's account instead of yours. And he was like, oh, thank you. And then they fixed it. They fixed it or whatever, but I don't know. And then, I mean, I thought it was, you know, it was a good catch.
You still getting your royalties from that fix?
No. No, but yeah, no, I was really surprised that he just responded.
Yeah.
You know, because eventually, I think they would have caught that eventually anyways.
You think so?
But
Wait, anything else on the list, or is that it for today?
there is one more on the list if we have time.
I think we do.
Okay, one more thing on the list, and it is what show / movie was very hyped up but ended up being awful.
Show / Well, I've never seen it, so not from personal experience, but from what the world has said as a whole, that movie Cats that came out
Oh yeah.
a couple years ago that like people said it just was horrendously bad.
Yeah.
And so maybe hate on me if you want for not actually having seen it, but people hyped it up like it's going to be great because it's like this big Broadway show, and then the movie comes out and it was horrendously bad.
You know, I have never spoke to one person that said they even like the Broadway play. They even like that the music they don't like. They say that of all the musicals that is one of the most boring.
There's been one, like I kind of like musicals and plays and everything, and my wife and I have been to a bunch, we've been married, and there's been one that we got up and left halfway through. Guess what it was? Cats.
Yeah.
Unwatchably bad.
You know,
Like people know the one song like Memories, like they know a couple songs from it, but the whole thing's just like cats just dancing around. I don't there's no plot to it.
yeah.
Like if you're gonna like I'm a fan of when there's a plot you can follow, like this was happening song.
Yeah.
Like there's a plot. It's just random cats singing and dancing around.
Like, even if the music was better, because there's been so many terrible movies that were saved by the soundtrack, like Dirty Dancing. Like Dirty Dancing is really not
That's
that.
a pretty good movie.
It's a good movie, but it's not like it wouldn't be a classic as it is
The
today
soundtrack
if
helps.
it wasn't for that soundtrack. The
Yeah.
soundtrack really helped it. Frozen
Frozen's a pretty good movie.
Frozen
Frozen's fun
is a
too.
great movie.
had a really good song in the movie, and that's what helped
It's
it.
a bunch of really good
It
songs.
helped it,
Yeah.
and it changed the whole trajectory of the movie. Like they rewrote, Elsa was going to be bad, but they changed the whole thing because
Yeah.
that song was like, oh my god, this is like, what's one expression like fire in a bottle? Like this is happening.
Yeah.
We have to take advantage of this.
Yeah.
Man, that song was everywhere too. Like little kid stuff, like everybody singing.
Because you said little kid. That soundtrack, I love every song on it. It's
Really?
so good.
Well, maybe I guess I'm just on my own on that
At the
one.
very beginning.
I get that a lot. I see a lot of overhyped horror movies, like The Purge. I didn't think The Purge was everything.
I like the Purge
it was
movies.
cracked out to be. Paranormal Activity, I thought was kind of. I don't think it was so great that it needed like 5 extra sequels right afterwards.
Yeah.
I feel
A lot of movies don't need sequels,
Yeah.
but here we are.
Here we are. Same thing with The Purge. I got like an insane amount of sequels. Actually, and I ended up liking the sequels. I just didn't like the first one.
I never saw that. I never saw Cats. I never saw Paranormal Activity. Maybe I
Yeah.
saw the first
And
one.
I'm a very easy guy to please. Like, there's not like I love snakes on a plane. Like, so that says a lot about me. Like, I will like. There's been a lot of like bad movies that I have really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So
I think sometimes it's easier to enjoy a bad movie than a critically good
critically
one.
acclaimed, yes.
Yeah.
I agree.
Sometimes just kind of boring.
Yeah.
Like they're super deep and thought out, which is all good and well,
Yeah.
but like Avengers movies, they don't tend to get tons of awards for like best picture and stuff like that.
No.
But they sure are easy to watch.
Yes. They're not overly talky
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. Like the most like what is it, like the Dark Knight movies. Like
Mhm.
Batman movies are very talky, like very like dialogue driven, but it was good. It was still
Yeah.
entertaining, which is really weird to think about it. Because like I think of all the Batman movies, those movies had like the least amount of Batman,
Yeah.
but it was still entertaining. So it's crazy.
I like the Christian Bale Batman movies.
Yeah.
He's a good Batman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think of other ones. There's really not a whole lot. I can't really think of anything because, like I said, I tend to enjoy most movies.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think of anything that was overhyped. It just ended up being like terrible.
It's probably a kids movie that I could think of.
I do know I tend to get disappointed a lot with horror movies because they tend to always have like the same plot.
Because what are you gonna do, man? It's all been done.
Yeah, it's like this, especially when there's like supposed to be a twist ending. Like I do not like the endings where it's like you think it's somebody else and it turns out to be the main character the whole time, but they were just like a cycle, like they were just like had a multi-personality thing. I've seen that happen dozens of times.
Do you normally see it coming when it's going to happen?
Yes, yeah, because there was a while where it was like every horror movie was like that. It was like you just knew. And you had hopes for it. You'd be like, oh, this is going to be a great twist. It's going to be something different. And then it was the exact same. Like, no, it was actually the main character the whole time. He just had a split personality. And then the end of the movie, they just kind of backtrack
Like
Yeah.
Fight Club.
But yeah, Fight Club.
That one holds up.
They did that with Secret Window, Johnny Depp, and
That's right, yeah.
Insomnia with Robert De Niro and Robin Williams and stuff like that. So many other movies I can go on and on.
Yeah.
I have a show and a movie now. You guys, have you watched or have you heard about the show You on Netflix?
No,
I have heard about it.
I think I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
So I watched the first 2 seasons because I just had to keep going to see what happened, if anything. There was one part in the second season where I literally laughed out loud because it was supposed to be like a twist. And it was a twist, but it was so dumb to me. And the third season came out a while back, and I was like, fine, let me see. And so far, it's just like the first and second season. Disappointing.
Disappointing.
And
Also, the movie Dark Shadows. Have you guys seen it?
I've heard
Johnny
of it.
Depp.
With Johnny Depp?
Never seen it, but I know the.
It had
gist of it.
so much potential. Like, so much good potential. But, like, everything in the end of, like, 10 minutes, everything happens and then it's not even good.
Oh,
You know what I
God.
mean?
Yeah.
But otherwise, like, 'cause it's Tim Burton and
Yeah.
I love all of his stuff. But there was no sad.
Yeah.
Could have been way better.
Could've been way better.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't know if it was overhyped, but Marvel's Iron Fist on Netflix was probably the worst show I've ever watched in my
I haven't
life.
even heard of it.
It was. He was supposed to be They're supposed to. It's like the street level Avengers, or like there's like the Punisher. There's Jessica Jones. I think that's her name. And then a bunch of other people like Luke Cage. And then there's Daredevil. And then there's supposed to be Iron Fist. And then he got his own show, and it was absolutely the acting, the plot, everything. It was very hard to watch.
Why do you think he got his own show?
The Iron Fist,
Yeah.
because he was supposed to be because like Daredevil did very well. Punisher, that show did. Jessica Jones did amazing. Like those were good
Those are all
shows.
shows?
So these are all fans that watched all those. This is Marvel. And it's also in the MCU universe too. So that's another reason why to watch it. So when everybody watched Iron Fist, it was atrocious. The acting was terrible. It was a very hard plot to follow. In my opinion, just one of the worst shows out there. And it never got a season 2, so
Dang.
yeah.
Cutting block. Anybody got anything else? I think we're all right. That has been today's The Daily Crew. TheDailyCrew.com. Thanks for watching and listening.
Later.